Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Culture Review. We have with us two very special guests. Immediately to the left of me, to the right of you, is our good friend Ryan Kinel from RK Outpost and RK Patriot. What's going on? Or Patriot Outpost. Excuse me. I always screw that up. Anyway,
I know it's tough to keep everything straight. No problem. I am happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Culture, along with your awesome panel. And I also get to talk to my good buddy over here, DJ Skandalous, so that'll be fucking awesome, man. Can I say?
Yeah.
Can I swear on your channel? All right, good. Make sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I wasn't going to be able to stop you anyway. So, and I don't monetize the live stream, so there you go. But you're right. We have a very special guest, somebody who we're very concerned with when YouTube decided that they didn't want his channel around for a little while. But that got fixed, and he came back with a vengeance. And you can check out his channel, DJ Scandalous. How are you today, my friend?
Doing good.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man. And let me tell you, you can check out recently in the last few days he did another cool remix of Ice Cube, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I remix all the old school rappers.
yeah, he does. He does a great job. You should check it out. I love the graphics on that one. Of course, I love everything that you're doing. So, but I do appreciate you being here, my friend. And immediately below DJ Scandalous is the human puppet, Fat Steven Seagal. What's going on, Fat Steven? I think you're muted, brother. Think you're muted.
Did you just tell everyone in your chat that someone's hand is up my butt? You just call me a human puppet?
I called you a human puppet.
Yeah, you are the puppet meat sack, dude.
More than talking about your puppetness.
I am Steven Seagal, and I don't support Culture's message.
Oh, well, you're not the only one. And next to Fat Steven Seagal is the man in the middle, the man that draws, the man that he brings booty and boobies to the table. His Machini from Machini Draws. What's up, Mach? I think he's muted.
You're muted.
He'll fix it. There we go.
I'm boomerang, so that's the sign that I have returned back to the Sunday Culture Review because I boomerang. It's a requirement for me. But yeah, I'm really happy to be back, and I'm happy to be back. I'm not working. Yeah, this is the first Sunday I'm not having to be at work, so I'm enjoying it as much as I can. Plus, I'm doing something a little special for the for a certain redhead who had a special birthday this weekend. Ooh, and she's going to be she's going to be our special guest for Machini Live next. So yeah,
can't wait for that. That's coming up in just about an hour and a half or so. Mm-hmm. We'll get some Machini Live right after this show. And of course, next to Machini is the man who is shilling the old school RK Outpost T-shirt, Story Man Jack, who's been a supporter of Ryan's since very early on. I know because he and I were very early supporters of Mr. Kinel. So tell him about you. Come on, Story Man.
I write stories. I put them on the internet. I read them myself, and there are some good ones. There's some mediocre ones, but most importantly, please listen and let me know what I'm doing right and wrong.
That's right. That's right. And he does some great stuff. And I can't wait for next Halloween when you'll have twice as much content. So looking forward to that.
I'm already writing stuff for that.
I know you are. And finally, our very own patriot of Rogue Entertainment, the man who, is shilling the Browns, the American flag, and bounding into comics, for whom he also occasionally works for, Drew Taylor, the Supreme Heretic. What's up, Drew?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm glad to be here kicking it. The Browns are currently getting their butt sanded to him. So, yeah, it worked out well because I don't have to watch that train wreck of a game at the moment. So, but no, it's not just that. It's the fact that anytime I get the opportunity to hang out with you, you are indeed one of my best friends, Mr. Culture, and it's always good seeing Ryan because Ryan's like that loud, brash fucking dude I like to bullshit with, and Scandalous goes without saying because like I've shared a lot of good laughs with Scandalous, before in my chat and Wes's chat, and we had some legendary times like going spinning the wheel of Twitch Tottery. and
sniping.
and of course, our boy Makani and Fat Steven, and it goes without saying the great storyteller that Storyman Jack is.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thanks for being here, Drew, and everybody on the panel. Our special guests included in that, of course. And let's get started. We got to say hi to the audience because we have several that have showed up. Hopefully, we get more joining us. Please share the stream, guys. Disease is here. He's first. We have Kitty Bear, who is second, third, and fourth, apparently. Storyman, you're on the panel. Max Relax is hanging out. He's very excited. We have Alec Baldwin as a special member of today's panel. I still think that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen on FNT. Low Spec Linux Laptops is here. We got Xenomorph, One Man Show, Judacon. What's up, Judacon? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Oh, Apollome's here. What's up, Apollomy? Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. Keep doing all the hard work that you do to keep America running, because we need you. We need all of you. Ed Brewer's out there in the world. What's up, Ed Brewer? We've got Purple Valkyrie. Hello, lovely lady. Biggles Metz is here. He is ready. This is the official Hype Man. Hype Man?
Hype Man? Yeah, Hype Man. Hype Man.
Hype Man.
I like Hype Man, yeah.
Hype Man. He's the official Hype Man. Not to be confused with a Hyman. Anyway, beyond that, let's go on from there. Yeah, Keely Chow. Hey, to honor Keely Chow, I have to say, roll tide. We've got, let's see, some other folks that have rolled in. The ever lovely Tina Bojan has joined us. Rogue Disney's hanging out. What's up, Rogue Disney? Mr. Dragon is here. Good to see you. Zax is here. Punk Trace is here. He's not going to be here long, but he's here for a while, and it's good to see him. He's always hanging out with amazing smoking hot chicks, let me tell you. Carrie's is hanging out with us. Good to see you, Carrie's. Joey 101 UK. Cool. Alex McCarthy is here. What's up, my friend? Finally, he won one over on the Saturday morning cartoon show, otherwise known as the Full Aussie. He finally won one. Of the Artards in cars.
Artards in cars.
Yeah, very funny. But excellent. And of course, Willie's joining us. Let's see, lots of other cool folks in here in the chat. If I missed you, it wasn't on purpose. Naked Fame's here. But we need to get started with the show. I don't want to keep everybody too long. Roger H is here with his thumbs up. We got Canadian TZ, or TZ Canadian, excuse me. Rough Girl. I think I said Naked Fame. Zacharot. Okay, I'm done. We got to get started. We got stuff to cover, and I want to keep everybody for 90 minutes or so. So let's get kicking it. First off, guys, well, happy post Veterans Day to you, Ryan. As you were mentioned during the stream, I really appreciate your service. A lot of people may not have known that you came out of the Navy. So just want that to be pretty clear, and you got to do and see some interesting times. So I'm sure that at some point in time you'll be talking about some of that stuff on your political channel.
Patriot Outpost, yeah, potentially. One, I appreciate everybody that wished me happy Veterans Day. I took some time and actually went out and on Veterans Day, a lot of places offer some little free meals and stuff. So I went out to a couple of those and actually tracked down some older vets who always go out at that time. Right. And my suggestion for next Veterans Day, if you're out and about, would be to find somebody who's wearing a hat, find someone who's doing retired Army hat, whatever, an older person, an older gentleman, and just, talk to them for a little bit, for like 5 minutes, because almost all of them have some sort of story that they want to tell. So that's what I did a little bit of, and those guys sacrificed and did a lot more than I did in my 11 years in. But yeah, I'll probably talk about it at some time when it becomes relevant over on Patriot Outpost. So
yeah, you actually made a post to that effect that I thought was brilliant. I mean, they have a story to tell. You talk to any veteran, if they're sporting the gear that says they're retired, they have something to tell you. They have a story. They have many stories, possibly. So
even the younger ones like us have stories to tell.
Yeah, and we believe me, I used to listen to my grandfather's stories. You know, I used to listen to my other family members' stories when they that have been through it all. So I just want to say thanks for everybody who contributes to protecting the betterment of our society, and I appreciate it. And that goes for everybody from military to police, et cetera, et cetera. We have to stand up for everyone, guys. And
now, Storyman, did you serve too? Right?
Yeah, he did.
Air Force.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, Chair Force. He was into Chair Force.
I was an AWACS tech and SP augmentee, so I did have to fire my weapon.
Yeah, like I said, I always want to make sure everybody knows that we do appreciate everything that everybody does that protects us. Like I said, the betterment of society. Appreciate you. All right, let's fire into the first thing. First of all, gosh, this story is going to be interesting because starting next week, about midway, we're gonna have a film that rolls into theaters that's going to challenge the Eternals. And I think that this is a good place to start because believe it or not, there's going to be a lot of Disney stuff on this. That's where we're starting. We don't know for how long it'll be here. Oh, we lost a panelist. I think Fat Steven bailed out on us. He'll be back. But Eternals, this is not exactly a glorious box office, in my opinion. Ryan, you have any thoughts on this?
Well, it's absolutely pathetic as far as domestic box office goes. We did. I do think that while we've been live, an article came out updating the international box office, which it looks like internationally it's to like around 160 or something $million. So it does push that worldwide total up a little more. But at the end of the day, this is a movie that needs $500 million to break even.
That's right.
And man, I don't think too many people see that happening. Nope. Especially with this poor of a domestic release. I think we all were looking at this, waiting, watching, ready to laugh at it as they told us it was going to be all about diversity and representation. But then when you get a $71 million opening followed by one of the worst drops of an MCU movie in history, yeah, pretty bad news for Marvel.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's not going to be a quick path to recovery because I believe Afterlife is going to destroy it.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
It's definitely going to knock it off of its perch at the top. I wonder how well Afterlife will do. I'm interested in that because I don't know if the marketing. I don't know if the marketing is going to get a ton of people to show up. Is this going to do more than Eternals opening weekend? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. $70 million would be about that number.
Well, here's a question I have. Have any of you seen the film?
No, I have no interest in watching Eternals.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that answers a lot of questions.
But I do intend to go see Afterlife.
But the target, aren't we the target market? Because we all like this stuff. We like Marvel comic book movies.
We like the old stuff. So a phrase comes to mind from a movie last year. What was it called? Oh, Disney, you get what you fucking deserve.
Well, yeah. That might be true. Well, looking at it now, I'll scroll down a bit as we go here. You can see the domestic box office there. It's not falling within the anticipated projections. That funnel, that shaded funnel there is where you want your movie to play, preferably towards the top of it or above it. You don't want it below it. And I think that's not, this is not something that they were anticipating happening unless they were looking at the test audiences, right? And so as we, scroll down through here, you can see it's not doing great as far as domestic overall competition. Of course, those numbers will change, but as you can see, weekend to weekend performance so far, fall off is 61% averaged. That's interesting. So when you look at the numbers, and these are the most important ones, these weekend fall off numbers, right? It's off 75% to the previous weekend. It's off 51% to the previous Saturday, or I should say Friday, Saturday, and it's off 52% based on estimation for today. It's off 52% from the previous weekend. So, what does that tell us?
I mean, it tells us that we were all right when we said, "Hey, if all you do is focus on diversity and representation and all of this stuff, instead of actual plot, actual characters, doing honor to these stories that come from these comic books that are so beloved, if that's all you focus on, these are going to be your end results. Eventually, people will just stop going. People will stop caring. So now the past 3 Marvel movies, we've seen Black Widow, about $386 million at the box office. They do have those Disney Plus numbers to fall back on for whatever that's worth. You have Shang-Chi, which may have made about $10 when it's all said and done, barely broke even, about $420 million. Right. And now you have Eternals, which needs to get to 500 to break even. So now you've had 3 in a row. This is all while a pretty disappointing James Bond movie has cracked $700 million worldwide. Right. Where the 9th Fast and Furious movie cracked $700 million worldwide. So it is possible to see those types of numbers, just not with Marvel right now.
Well, and I think you're right. Anybody else have thoughts? Because
yeah.
Okay, go
ahead. A couple. So first thing, do you guys remember when Simu Liu was making that Instagram post with LOL at the at everybody who was saying that Shang-Chi was not going to do well?
Right.
Yeah. I was half expecting the same thing with Camille Nanjiani to go back on and talk, mad stuff about people who said that wasn't going to make money, and I was surprised by that. I was expecting that. What was Culture? What was the nonprofit organization that helped Shang-Chi?
Oh, the Gold Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what they're called now. Gold Square, but they were all about the Golden Open, right?
Yeah,
that was their hashtag, Gold Open for films.
Yeah, I was expecting that was going to help out Shang-Chi. That was going to help out the Eternals the same way it did Shang-Chi, and
that was their goal.
Yeah, and so I guess in some ways the people said that this wasn't going to do as well as they wanted it to be with all this can have a little bit smile on their face, because I feel like it was kind of a clap back at the people, like the Shang-Chi's, like the people were saying like Shang-Chi was doing well, and, Simu Liu laughing at us and such like that. When they when the Marvel MCU stands were coming after Ryan and Jeremy asking for an apology over Shang-Chi's box office performance, Ryan can laugh right back at them with the Eternals. So there's a little bit of glee of the entire camp from this.
Right. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think that you're right there. I think that we've seen a pattern. Ryan's 100% correct. We're seeing a pattern right now with the way these films are I want to say tanking. They're not tanking. They're falling off. The interest of the audience is falling off, and I think that's largely because people don't want to be preached at all the time. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know. Let me get this super chat and see if anybody else wants to jump in here. Rough Girl for $5 says Vets Day, my birthday, Thanksgiving. Let's party, my Scorpio brother. Absolutely, Rough Girl. Absolutely, and again, happy birthday to you. I think Rough Girl celebrates her birthday like for the whole month, from Halloween on for like most of November, I think. So I hope she's having a great celebration.
That's my birthday is tomorrow. So I am a Scorpio indeed.
Wow.
So tomorrow, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
November 15th.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. I appreciate it.
The big 33, right?
It is the big 33.
Wow.
It is the big 33.
Wow.
So I'm disturbed that you knew that.
That's because I'm 33.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. So you guys have the same generation. That's kooky.
And I wanted to mention just about the box office. I'm going to share my screen real quick. This is a movie that came out in the same time frame that has now made more money than Shang-Chi, even though it was released a month later, and that's Venom, Let There Be Carnage, right? So Venom has now made more money than Shang-Chi while being out a month less in the theaters. But also, this movie's budget was $110 million.
Yes.
As opposed to Shang-Chi's, which they tell us is about 150 to 160. But if you actually look, it looks like it could be anywhere from 150 million to 200 million. So when we're saying it made money by the skin of its teeth, we're using that lowest possible number.
Right.
But Venom has already made more money than Shang-Chi by quite a bit because of that lower budget.
And go ahead.
Well, you know what it's really about? Mm-hmm. It's about this. It's about story.
That's right.
They don't write stories anymore. They don't. They just don't. From you look at it, they throw something out there. It's all splashy. It's all Michael Bay. It's all look at this, look at that. We're going to change this character, that race. We're going to change this character to this gender. It's all confusion, and there's no story.
That's true.
There's no story.
Yeah, and you would know, you write stories all the time, and I have to agree. There's a famous director, Ridley. Right, Ridley Scott. He just came out and said basically the same thing, that these superhero films lack any form of story. Scandalous, do you have any thoughts on any of these things?
I think it's also people didn't even ask for Eternals or Shang-Chi or Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. Like there's other superheroes that deserve a movie that are way more popular. So I think that's also that too.
Yeah, I agree with you. Think about how many of these superhero films they haven't made, or they haven't made well, that they could do even better with. I mean, we could have a new Ghost Rider, right? We could have an actual solo Hulk film that was good. We haven't had a good one of those. But there's a whole lot of other characters out there that we could focus on. Like I said, I mean, they already canceled one of the coolest superheroes I thought existed, Black Lightning. They canceled that. They put that show up on the CW, and that thing was gone in like.
It was a really good
minutes.
show too.
Well, it was, and it paid good. It didn't it pay pretty good homage to the character's representation on the.
As far as I could tell,
yeah.
I mean, it was written for a specific demographic, and it was great.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it didn't play on that message, right? It played it played for everybody. Yeah,
but that's what made it okay, was because it was just that world. It was an inner city world, and that's the way that world is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that, like, to what DJ Scandalous said, no one's asking for this, and it's 100% true. No one's asking for these characters, but we have had things that no one asked for before that were great. But the difference is they gave us characters that people weren't necessarily asking for, but they crafted it around a great story. Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody was asking for Guardians of the Galaxy, but what did they come out and be like? This is the first movie ever featuring an animated raccoon. No, they didn't do that.
No.
What they did was they presented it to people. It was funny. It was witty. It was great characters. And it was a hit. It wasn't because of any virtue signaling. So they could even take these characters that no one was asking for and do something with them when they were attempting to do that, when they were still attempting to be creative. That's long gone now.
And I think
it was before Disney took over, maybe?
I think it was in the works before Disney took over.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you bring up a good point, Ryan, is that I think with what they were doing, the Eternals, like they were expecting another hit like Guardians of the Galaxy, that similar scenario where you have a bunch of characters that nobody knows about. But, this through, James Gunn's directing, through the strength of the cast involved, they were able to make something work really well and become a big hit. They were expecting the same thing with Eternals, and the Eternals falls completely flat thanks to how boring the trailer looked, or how boring the premise sounds and such. A lot of different plot holes and inconsistencies concerning to the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the marketing as well. Plus, you don't have a big group of A-listers backing it up at the time. Like, you think about Guardians of the Galaxy, you had Batista, you had Bradley Cooper, you had
Vin Diesel's group.
Vin Diesel's group. You had a lot of A-listers, or people who were popular at the time, who were big A-listers at the time. Bradley Cooper was still a big thing around 2014. Look at what you have with the Eternals. Angelina Jolie, yeah, her star is dim at that point.
That's exactly
Hayek,
what.
This is much better if it was a Disney Plus series than a full-length feature film.
Well, and it would have actually honored, King Kirby. To be honest with you, this film, the way it was written, and again, I was privileged to get some early stuff about this one as well, and it was always going to be this much of a downer, and it's and again, you're not wrong. I mean, they put the B list on this one, because really, what was the last thing Angelina Jolie led that anybody went to the theaters to see because she was in?
And on the topic
Wanted?
Tomb
Raider, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But on the topic of King Kirby, and I made a point in this in the super chat on Wednesday dump stream, was that just the Snyder Cut is the closest thing that we've gotten to at least a proper representation of Jack Kirby's work. When you look at the Eternals, I look at it in two ways. Yeah. Either Marvel's first ever film with a CW budget, or what we would have gotten with Ava DuVernay and Tom King's New Gods film, except Eternals would have been better than whatever the piece of crap that Ava DuVernay and Tom King would have put it out with. Yeah, it had nothing going for it. The cards against it.
Yeah, well, I just want to take a second to say thank you to Mexican Iron Man for supporting the channel with a $3.99 super sticker, which is giving me a cup of coffee, which I definitely needed this morning. It was a long couple of days for me. The people in the chat are just on fire. Thank you guys for participating. You guys are the best. Of course, we've got another amazing super chat from our friend Ruben Christopher Haynes. So I'm trying to bring up right now because they do keep the super chats now in StreamYard, which I'm thankful for, but it's scrolling around quite a bit. For $10 says the best analogy is Marvel wants to only consume pineapple pizza, us to only consume pineapple pizza, and only pineapple pizza. Marvel needs to make what the fans want, so people like that garbage, but it is not real pizza. That's true. Yeah, no, that's an excellent. I think that's an excellent analogy. Yeah, because I don't want. I don't know, Ryan. Ryan, do you want pineapple on your pizza, bro?
I don't. I love pizza. I actually had just until this morning. I'd eaten pizza for my last 4 meals. But no, I do not want pineapple on my pizza because I agree with Ruben. That's not real pizza. Yeah. But that's what Marvel's serving up, and they're saying if you don't like it, you're a bigot.
I really don't like this analogy. I really don't like this analogy
because you like pineapple.
We cut off DJ Scandalous. Go ahead, my friend.
I said, but Ryan was eating gas station pizza with the Jeremy.
That's true.
That's true. But that's cheese and pepperoni, though.
Yeah. Tell them about your floor pizza. Like you almost always have a pizza box on the floor, right?
If I get pizza the night, like for Friday Night Tights, this is a perfect example. For Friday Night Tights, I got some pizza. Oh my God, please tackle that piece of shit. So I've paid attention to my fantasy.
I know you have to. I know.
And so I got some on Friday Night Tights. I was watching on Friday Night Tights. And I ate about half of my meal and just set it. It was actually not on the floor. It was on the top of a little table over here. And then the next morning I came back in and I just started eating it again.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Pizza's good hot. Pizza's good cold. I mean, it's pizza, right? Okay, but I just want to make sure, DJ Scandalous, do you only want to eat pineapple pizza or do you want other options, my friend?
No, I actually like cheesesteak pizza. If you ever had that from
Domino's.
Yeah,
cheesesteak pizza. Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah, I like hamburger sausage on pizza. What about you, Jack, Storyman Jack?
I eat all things on my pizza, everything, including anchovies. But here's the thing. My son, one last thing on Eternals, my son said, why would I want to go see a bunch of has-been actors play discount X-Men?
Oh, good thought, my friend. I like that. Line. Yeah. All right,
that's my 20-year-old son.
Yeah, smart kid.
Live for Marvel.
That's smart. Mock, thoughts? Pineapple pizza?
I will eat pizza on pretty much. I do not prefer pineapple on pizza. I prefer Canadian bacon as an alternative. And I won't eat pizza with spinach on it. But other than that, I'm pretty much open to anything else. I'm more old school, perfect, just either pepperoni, sausage, or extra cheese myself. Okay. And in regard to this analogy, it's a great analogy. I would argue that it's almost kind of the same analogy as that you want candy corn. Fans don't want candy corn, but Marvel is giving us candy corn.
That's better. That's better. Because candy corn.
Some people like. I think pineapple pizza is a good call, but let's get the man. Let's get the journalist in us all talking about some pineapple pizza analogy here. What do you think, brother?
Oh man, I can't really do pineapple on pizza. I've done it, but like once in a blue moon. I had to be very much in a mood for like something sweet to even think about that. I mean, my go-to is usually bacon. Or bacon sausage, it's always pepperoni and bacon, pepperoni and sausage, or sometimes if I want to get exotic, I'll get meatball on part of it because meatball's actually really good on pizza.
No, yeah, I love.
So you're saying you like sausage and meatballs, huh?
Yeah, dude. I know.
So if you haven't, put jalapenos on it. Order with jalapenos.
Jalapenos aren't bad. Yeah,
it's good on a meat pizza. But yeah, I think the analogy.
Get the Hawaiian pizza with jalapenos on it. You'll change your mind. Promise.
No. See, you're ruining pizza. Stop doing that. Brightest Day says for $2, drop the hood, free the weave. Nope. It's a little chilly in the office this morning, so I'm gonna be comfortable. And plus,
he didn't put his wig on today.
Maybe that's it. But
jalapenos are great in small doses, though.
Yeah.
Jalapeno pepperoni.
Texas. It's in every meal.
Yeah, jalapeno pepperoni is pretty damn good.
It is really awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well, the chat is on fire, as I said, with another. Holy cow, Max Relax sends us a €10 super sticker, which I appreciate. Thank you very much, my friend. And I'm scrolling up to find it, which is a super pair. That's right. I love it. Those are so cool. I love the little animated stickers. I wish you could make your own. Could you imagine if you could make your own for your channel? I think that'd be cool as heck.
I feel like there'd be a lot of dicks involved.
Maybe on certain people's.
Open that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, certain people's channels that wouldn't it be appropriate though? Maybe it'd be appropriate. But we need to skip on down the line. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, but in an entirely different way. See, Disney thought they were going to be doing everybody a favor on the heels of the bad news of the earnings. They put together something for a second anniversary for Disney Plus. It was called Disney Plus Day. That's right. See everything announced from Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and more. First of all, when you heard about this, and I'm going to start with Ryan. We're going to go in descending position here. Ryan, your thoughts when you heard about Disney Plus Day?
Well, it's funny that they had Disney Plus Day just a day or two removed from their, basically their quarterly earnings report where they had to report to the investors, and they informed them that instead of the growth they expected on Disney Plus, they've kind of stalled out. They expected to have about 126 million by this time. They only have 118 million subscribers. So very little growth from Disney Plus. And I think it might be showing that, you can have some big IPs, but at the end of the day, you're kind of limited. You really are when you're Disney with the content that they're making over there, at least. Whereas, Netflix, we bash on Netflix a lot for good reason for the stuff they make, but they make a wide variety of things for a lot of different people. And that is a lot of appeal. Whereas Disney, it's basically Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and kid stuff. Like that's what's going on right now for Disney Plus. It is not good news. And what they came out with and showed on Disney Plus Day, I don't know how many people that's convincing that, maybe I need to sign up. But they're going to do everything they can to boost those numbers. They're now offering a $2 Disney Plus subscription.
$1.99.
$2 to try to get people to do this. This is on the heels of when they launched, offering people almost 3-year deals for real cheap, free for a year if you're a Verizon customer. Yep. They're trying to get those numbers up to somewhat compete with Netflix. And it looks like so far they're kind of failing.
Well, they are. They're running out of road when it comes to domestic subscribers, and that's what they need. They need the North American market to perform really, really at an elevated level, because that's where they get all of their average revenue per user income. There's not a lot of people like to say, well, there's other countries that have similar income, but they don't have the same population. Well, and so it's like when you end up with several million subscribers in India at 71 cents ARPU, they're not the same value as North American users, which are $1.71 to $1.85, depending upon, at what point you believe the actual metric was real. So, and it's continuing to fall off, and they like to pretend that doesn't matter, but it does, because go ahead.
I have a point with this.
Yeah, please.
When they've based Disney Plus around these iconic nerd geek fandoms, and then they continue to insult these fandoms, not just by what they make, but with their own words. They're not going to keep getting these subscriptions. They're not going to keep getting the North American people. People are fed up with it. They are. Yeah. It's just the end of it.
Well, and I think that's just the case. I mean, you're going to see You're going to see more and more articles around this idea. In fact, on Friday, I clipped a segment that I did out of the Friday pre-flight that took from an article. That exact idea is that you can't sustain Disney Plus on the backs of Marvel and Star Wars because you've depleted both of their value in your crappy storytelling. But you're going to continue to run into a roadblock every time. It was a great story. I think I may still have it someplace, but Mila sends us a super chat for $1.99. Says pineapple on Taco Bell. No, thank you.
No, Taco Bell only has 5 ingredients, and every different thing is just a rearranging of those 5 ingredients.
And they have crack in there or something because that stuff is good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vertical Horizons brings up a good point. I'm surprised Disney isn't doing more Bollywood shows on Disney Minus to pander to India. They are. You're just not seeing them in your North American version.
Yeah, if you switch your VPN over, you'll see different stuff.
Yeah, and it's very true. I mean, and this is a good point. What Disney doesn't realize, will sub to watch a show like Mandalorian, and then after the season, unsubscribe. Absolutely. And as somebody already also said in the chat, think about this: they give away free months all the time. You can get a free year, I think, with an Xbox Live Game Pass membership. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right now you can.
Yeah. And I mean, I went through a list of like 8 different ways to get Disney Plus for free yesterday, I think, at some point.
And it's because they want to show the subscriber count instead of that. What were you calling it? The APU? The
ARPU, yeah, average revenue per,
right.
Average revenue per user is what
they want to show their investors. Hey, look at this sub count, and that way using the mirror and the smoke so they don't see how much money they're actually losing.
Yeah, right. And for the people that are asking about I see a lot of people talking about Miss Marvel's costume. I believe that she's actually dressing up as Captain Marvel for Halloween.
Yes.
I think that's what this is for.
That's the context. Yeah. Exactly. I tried to prevent people from overreacting to that too the other day on another stream. I was like, wait a minute. We don't know the context of this. She could be cosplaying as Captain Marvel before she realizes however she realizes her quote unquote.
She gets powers from being a minority female. They just every minority female in the MCU now gets powers. I believe that's established.
Yeah, I believe it's also based on their menstrual cycle as well.
Oh my! Well, I do know this that anyway. So Friday we got this right. We got all the announcements around all the shows, right? The Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. We got Miss Marvel. We got Moon Knight, which is the only thing I'm actually interested in, and She-Hulk because I know that Dana Schwartz participated in the writing room, so I know it's going to suck rocks. Let's see. What else?
Isn't that as his girlfriend?
Yes, I think so.
Well, and the thing is, and I will give props for them that they're going back to the classic look for She-Hulk, not what we've been getting out of the current run, and even the current run in the comics are going back to the old school She-Hulk, which I do appreciate that, but I feel like that's too little, too late, especially when you have someone who is. I don't know how other ways to put it. A see you next Tuesday like Dana Schwartz is the wider. I'll say that the nicest way possible.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Maybe Ryan's not cursed a whole lot, so I appreciate that. So.
In my opinion, Disney needs to go and find people like Kai, people like Red Gaze, people who can write, and put them not in charge, but give them the opportunity to give them story.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody on this panel probably has a pretty good idea and can flesh out like a storyline and work with a couple of people who can actually write. And all of a sudden, ta-da, you have something better than what we're experiencing right now.
Look at Comicsgate. Look at Comicsgate.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing is, I know you want to get into X-Men 97, and I want to bring this topic up is that, and I think Yellow Flash pointed this out, that, you have with what they're going to do, they're going to bring most of the, not only just the actor, most of the voices cast is coming back, but also I think most of the writers who have been writing some of the best runs for X-Men, such as like Christopher Priest, Chris Claremont. Sorry. The thing that worries them is that X-Men, the original show, that was 97. A lot has changed, so the writers who were the same writers on the original show they're going to have different like politics and agenda, and they're probably going to force feed that into it.
Yeah,
because it's expected. Because you don't work long if you don't, according to a lot of people I've been talking to.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I get from this, and I think Phil Flash made a good point about that. And it's the problem, and I think is that you have, and I don't think they're not looking for good writers, because that just changes. I think that just it doesn't change. It changes the narrative in that people don't want to see new things, and that no, we actually want to see new things. We actually want to see them try new concepts and new ideas. It's just got to be good. And I think that if you bring somebody on like Kai or Gaze or even one of us or even Storyman, we would create something new that would completely destroy whatever narrative or agenda that they've been trying to push.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even. Here's the proof that it's an agenda. They can create a good story around a trans superhero without making a big deal about it being trans, right? They could do that. They could even bring it in and say, okay, we're going to explore their issues and things a little bit without pushing it, because that story can evolve naturally and organically. But they don't want to do that. They want to take what's already there and dissect it and destroy it.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. And in Yellow Flash, I did see the tweet this morning. One of the guys, he was on a skateboard in the picture that was there, essentially with the F Trump thing. It's an agenda driven writer, but we're seeing that across the board. I don't know. Ryan, your thoughts on when we're going to escape that hole?
I mean, what we're seeing right now with Marvel is the start of the pushback, right? With this apathy towards these characters that, Black Widow, a lot of people did care about. Obviously, she's dead now. But between Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, that's the start of something, right? That's the start of this message. Now, I think it's going to be pushed back a little bit when Spider-Man, whatever fucking one it is,
No Way Home.
Far From Home, No Way Home is probably going to make over $1 billion. I really do believe that, just because of all the nostalgia they're going to use for it and how much they're going to hype it up. Yeah, I think it's going to make $1 billion, but it's going to be a slow process. This is not some 2 weeks from now we got it, guys. We won the culture war. Fuck them. They're out of control. No. Like, there has to be some massive failures for an extended amount of time, because we talked about the stock a little bit. We'll probably get more into that. It's like they've been messing around with their stock for a long time. Last year, this Disney Plus Day announcement, it wasn't really, I don't know if it's Disney Plus Day, but it was like Disney Investor Day, where they announced all of the projects coming to Disney Plus.
People were pumped.
Yeah, it was all a show, because the day before that, they told you that they had been losing millions of dollars because the parks were shut down, because all this stuff was shut down. But then we announced what's coming on Disney Plus, and we make our numbers sound good. And it literally, the stock went up. After you just told these people that you've been losing money, your stock went up. So it's all a fucking game. And as soon as that kind of house of cards starts to fall apart, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, that's when we'll start to see things actually change. But it's not an immediate thing. I think it's a long battle we're in for.
And Ryan, I think you bring up a good point, is that, for the past couple of years, we have been in this age of empathy, where we're having to be empathetic. We're told to be empathetic, like marginalized and different other things. And I think we're starting to slowly see that age of empathy is going to be phased out for an age of apathy. I don't think it's going to be immediate, but it's going to be a slow burn. People are going to be more apathetic to stuff now because of what's been going on for the past couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I've been apathetic to this stuff for a while. I'm excited about the stories coming out of Comicsgate, the novels that this, whatever you want to call it, Fellowship or whatever, is producing on YouTube. I mean, it's just amazing. If you go and just look at Indiegogo and just go and look at the fiction and the comics and everything, there's amazing stories there that if they're not messed with, could make terrific movies.
Right. And I had a chat highlighted a minute ago that Bendis really screwed up Moon Knight. So if that's the version that we end up with, then I'm going to be way less excited, because I was stoked for that. But if that's the case, if that's what we get,
you know what the funny thing about that is, Culture?
Yeah.
A lot of the characters, such as Moon Knight, such as Riri Williams and such, you know what the common factor they have?
Yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
It ties back to Bendis in some way, shape, or form.
It does seem that way. Well, we're going to move on. I'm going to do the super chat real quick. We have some more to get to, because I want to go through some of these things that we're talking about. TC Canadian for $10 says, here's my money that would have gone to Disney or other woke entertainment, sports included. This is true, especially in basketball. Ryan, I'm going to get you on an NBA tirade in a second. Thank you guys for getting on here and giving us better entertainment. We try. I mean, Ryan by himself, if you've ever seen this guy go fully ballistic, it's pretty amazing. So he's worth the price of admission. Glad to call him a friend and somebody that I looked up to and got me started here on YouTube. So I always have to acknowledge my friend Ryan. So
thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
But so Ryan, before we move on from sports talk, because I want to, NBA, probably the worst of the woke, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that have really they've let the players run the league. I wouldn't say let the inmates run the prison, but that might sound racist if we're talking about the NBA.
That's pretty much true.
But no, that's really what it is, though. They have given the players this ultimate power, which some people really liked that before all this stuff, because it's given players all this flexibility. It's made free agency crazy, because you have these players who, top 5 players who are changing teams seemingly every year or two. With the mobility that's going on, because the players have a lot of power and the players union has a lot of power.
Yeah.
But now when it's coming to virtue signaling, since the players have all the power, they literally refuse to play. They all walked off the court during the bubble because of the killing of Jacob Blake, which of course turned out to be a lawful shooting, and it turns out that Jacob Blake is an absolute piece of shit. Crazy. But a lot of people wanted to rush to his defense immediately. And so these are things that I don't think they would have done. Same with the NFL. I don't think they would have done all these things if crowds had been there. But it was this weird combination of crowds not being present, so they can't boo if you're kneeling for the national anthem. They can't yell at you and cuss you out for doing all this virtue signaling on the floor. Right. So instead, they did it, and the ratings crashed, and they tanked. Yeah. And some leagues like the NFL have backed off a little bit publicly on it. They still support the players behind the scenes, but not on the field stuff.
Right.
But the NBA is in a pretty rough place, because LeBron James is the face of the NBA, and LeBron James is a literal piece of human garbage.
Well, and he displays that on a regular basis in his bad takes. It's unbelievable.
Right.
But this is happening in music too, isn't it? Scandalous.
Well, yeah, if you consider like them pumping out Lil Nas X and putting them all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a really weird thing, right? Little Nas with the weirdness,
being pregnant and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he's doing some odd stuff. I was thinking about that the other day. Storyman's entertaining us.
I'm wearing my LeBron James mask.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I follow. I know me and Culture. We're pretty much in the same circle. So I watch you guys, Sports Wars, Ryan. Black and White Sports and Black and White Live are the first videos I actually watch
John Matrix
to start my day, because I love listening to John Matrix and Road Rants. And then I also follow Clay Travis and Outkick, the coverage. And I find it, the more and more we're seeing with the NBA stuff, it is just absolutely interesting to me, and how it's so a microcosm of just everything that's been going on for the past, couple of years, ever since lockdown. Like it's amazing that you've got all this, it really is amazing with the thing in the NBA of how you have all this nonsense going on, and yet you find those specific players like Enes Kanter, who is slipping through the cracks and calling everything out for what it is, and they can't say a damn thing about it. They can't.
Yeah, Enes Kanter. Not only that, dude goes on, shows his face, and talks down on all this noise, right? It was pretty amazing. I thought that was a brave step. Somebody, again, it's just, we have a couple of them right now, right? A couple of brave NBA players that are pushing back on the bologna sausage, and that's good for them. But Josh here, Mr. Knight's End, for $5 says, Disney's agenda. Let's not hire passionate fans or creators to tell good stories and make money. Wokeness holds its weight in aluminum, or as the Brits would say, aluminium. But that's strong and fairly accurate, in my opinion. Josh, by the way, Josh just hit the 400 subscriber threshold on his channel. Did a celebration yesterday. So believe me, the first thousand's the hardest. Ask Ryan.
And I'm led to believe that we've seen the big and I don't want to get into like, you know, the coof and everything, but it truly is amazing. We're seeing the bigger players like, you know, Aaron Rodgers, like Kyrie Irving, you know, come out and not, you know, supporting the mandate in some way, shape, or form. But it's really is truly disgusting of the mainstream media of how you're putting so much focus on, you know, what Aaron Rodgers is saying and what Aaron Rodgers not, you know, taking the vaccine or doing this and that, but you're not giving coverage to the fact that we've had a Las Vegas Raider drunk driving in a C8, I'm assuming a C8 Vec going 150 plus and killing a 23-year-old woman and her dog.
Yeah.
And barely you're hearing the mainstream media talk about that. That should be more important.
Well, I haven't watched any sports since the first knee.
Right.
Yes. Right. I want to reinforce this real quick. I'm sorry, Mock, you can go on in a second. But Rough Girl, you did win a giveaway during the celebration stream for the closeout of Bonds the Drive. So yeah, hit Nerium up on Twitter, Nerium Noah up on Twitter, and claim your prize. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
And yeah, it's just really disgusting, and it's just like I can't. Why should I support, you know, mainstream media, let alone sports media, if all they're focusing heavily on is if this big play, if you have a huge player, someone with a huge following, not taking, you know, the vaccine or not doing the mandates, not, you know, toeing in line when you have this going. That's why I'm very happy to see that, you know, there's more and more pushback against Kaepernick. There's you're seeing John Gruden come out and he's going to sue Roger Goodell and the NFL for what is just absolute chaos. There's clearly something going on. I don't want to get into seriously talk, but there is clearly something going on with it.
We need to actually expose all of the email from the NFL. If we're going to look at some person's email, we need to expose them all. But we're going to get back to the Disney thing in just a second. But I want to say, I agree with you, Xenomorph. A lot of people have cut off sports. I quit my entire sports tier on DirecTV. I was so passionately upset about all of the sports going woke. So I don't have sports anymore. I look at the lines on Yahoo and other places. That's all I care about. I don't follow. I don't watch. I just don't. They lost me as a fan, which means they lost the $1,800 to $2,400 a year that I spent on sports packages. You know, they lost season ticket money for me when I was going to the various, because I'm one of those lucky people. I have all 4 pro sports, and I guess technically there's more than that, but I mean, they like to call like some form of women's basketball, girls basketball professional, but
that doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think so either. Anyway, I knew Ryan would appreciate that take. Joachim Stark for 50 Swedish krona says, setting off Ryan. What do you really think of Xenon 54, Ryan?
Xenon, well, I assume you're talking about nuclear power, and I assume you're talking about Xenon 135, because the atomic number is 54, so it'd be very strange for Xenon to only have 54. There would mean no neutrons were involved. But if you mean Xenon 135, that is a fission product of uranium, and it's pretty important to controlling nuclear power and predicting over time what the power levels will be, especially if you're adjusting temperature and thinking about things like that. So
right. Yeah, I think. I think the future when it comes to the realization of nuclear power as far as clean energy, I think people need to realize each of the byproducts, or what they call waste, can now be used as another form of energy in a different way as we keep going on and growing our knowledge and understanding of it. So what used to be waste years ago can now be reharnessed in other ways. But also, many of the steam style plants can be converted into what is it? There's like a nuclear salt generation thing, a station. I forget what they're called, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with those. I've heard of people talking about them, but
yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff, but we're not going to do energy hour here. We're going to get back onto this, talk about this, because we want to wrap this up here in about next 45 minutes or less. First of all, anybody excited for any of these shows? Let's start with Obi-Wan Kenobi canon breaking show. Anybody excited?
No, but my son is.
Okay, well, let's see how long that lasts.
I mean, seeing Hayden Christensen is probably going to be the best part. That's about it.
That's why he wants to watch it.
Oh, that's actually a good call there, Scandalous. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that's going to be the drive, the people that are driven to it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the reason the reason this show exists is to have Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight.
Yeah,
that's the reason it exists, and all the plot was thought of after.
And that's how they sucker you in.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yep.
That's why people
that's
are
why they had to
it.
Rewrite it. How many times? How many times have they had to do rewrites?
I think twice full rewrites, but
no, this is the third set of scripts.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
But the problem is it shouldn't be happening.
No.
What this story should be is a relatively boring story that is focused on Obi-Wan Kenobi and his mental, and how he's mentally handling everything that happened. It's how he's getting through day to day by, simply realizing that he's no longer a Jedi like he was. He's no longer protecting people. He's protecting one fucking person. And him coming to grips with that. Him dealing with his failures as a friend and as a master and as a Jedi. And that's not a very exciting fucking thing for a lot of people. That made a great book called Kenobi in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. However, that's not something that translates well on screen. So what are they going to do instead? They're going to have a rematch with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's what everybody wants to see. So they're going to fucking destroy the meaning from A New Hope. That's what they're going to do. They're going to take away all meaning and significance out of that in order for fan service, which you shouldn't want.
Mm-hmm. I heard George Lucas groan the moment that was announced.
Oh, yeah, probably from miles away. Okay, X-Men 97. They're going to break X-Men, right?
Yeah. It's going to be bad.
You ready for that? What about Moon Knight? I was excited originally for it. What do you think? Oh, here's somebody who definitely have an opinion on this. Moon Knight, they announced. What do you guys think, Moon Knight? Do you think it's going to be good other than Oscar Isaac?
I thought that it was the best. I thought it was the best teaser. I don't trust Disney either, but if I'm looking at all the stuff they announced, that's the thing that I'd be like, that has a chance of being okay.
Me too, except I'm worried now, especially if they go with the Bendis route. But anybody else on here? Steve,
we're at a point now where anything that's being announced or in production, or we get a trailer, it doesn't matter how it looks, how it's delivered. We're at a point or even a precipice where it looks good, and then either halfway through it turns to crap, or it turns into something that we all know deep down is going to happen again and again and again. Disney is in this cycle where they're taking these properties, but they're not respecting the lore of these properties. They're not respecting the fans of these properties. They're saying it's for fans, but the only fans they want are the ones that they're trying to make fans of. Look at WandaVision. WandaVision was that one brilliant light when we first saw those trailers. We saw those little hints on how they were taking respect to not just the decades of television, but the decades of delivery. And then it got halfway through, and everything changed, and it felt like the soul, even that I put in that show. Culture, you did this with me when we were like, the breakdowns. I went knee deep at 0.25 play speeds for trailers, trying to find all the Easter eggs. And then it just failed me. And it feels like this keeps happening with every trailer we get. We got Winter Soldier. We got Miss Marvel coming. It's all. I can't put expectations or hope that we're going to get something that is respecting us as viewers and not as dollar signs. And that's where you have to come at it with this.
So to tie it back to the numbers, Venom was entertaining, but not a good movie.
It was Venom 1 rehashed.
Yeah. But it still did better than this supposedly original stuff that they're. I mean,
it's bad, and circling back to it all. I mean, look, okay, let's just go through them real quick because otherwise, if you see something you're excited for, let me know.
Yeah,
But I think Mila's right. I think the fact that Oscar Isaac might be shirtless in this might really bring the ladies to the yard.
You think?
Well, and I think Oscar Isaac is a good actor too.
Yeah,
he
is.
Yeah,
He's a really good actor.
Which, if you haven't seen Dune yet, shame on you. But anyway,
see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I saw the Mark Ruffalo in the Tim Roth thing at Hulk and Abomination, but technically Ruffalo wasn't fighting the Roth as Abomination. That was
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Norton. I think Norton did a better job.
It feels like crappy stitching of a tapestry, just trying to get those member berries in while trying to maintain a story. Like I'd rather just see a script of the first episode and see where it goes.
Yeah, and I think you're going to be disappointed. All right, Miss Marvel, we all know is a car crash. Agatha House of Harkness.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
Unless it's continuing with how White Vision has disappeared and how they're going to retain, like they're going down the I don't know.
The Multiverse of Madness, we'll see.
Darker than Scarlet or something, yeah. Like if they're going down that road with the West Coast Avengers, and that's going to be a segue, maybe.
Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is an animated series. Anyone? No.
Is that Holland in a diaper?
It actually has like the traditional fucking Peter Parker look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Echo. Okay, here it is. This is the one I don't know about. So. Echo.
It's a girl, and she's the key to effing everything.
Okay.
A deaf Native American hero.
It sounds like Daredevil with a bow and arrow.
Notice what they're giving you in these descriptions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a lot of it. The zombies. You want to know why zombies is there? Is because that everyone wanted to watch the What If series because the zombies was one of the most anticipated because we have Battle World, we have Marvel Zombies, we have all that lore.
It could have been good, but I doubt it will be. Okay, yeah. Ironheart. This is the one I think is going to really set off a lot of fans, and they aren't prepared for it, right?
Iron Shark?
Yeah.
No, it's yeah, no, this isn't going to work. You have to make.
Wait. She creates the suit?
Yes.
From tech that came from Stark Enterprises, isn't that how it works?
Well, yeah. So in the comics, she stole it. She stole the suit from MIT.
Batwoman did.
Yep.
Batwoman.
She stole the suit basically, and the thing is, Tony was supposed to be her AI at the time, and I think that's what's going to do the same thing. They're going to bring back Tony as an AI under Rigri's suit, and I think that's going to fall flat on their face with that one. And I have no interest in that because, despite the fact that I think with what I've heard from when they're incorporating America Chavez, that they're going to make a lot of retcons, that they're going to change a lot of things to how a lot of these all new, all different characters were. Like what you saw, like what you're seeing with Kamala Khan. They're not giving her this big arms, big hands, her ability to be basically a second-rate, cheap-looking Mr. Fantastic. They're giving her Green Lantern powers, basically, or crystallized style.
Well, they're breaking.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. The question is also like, with all these announcements, is Agents of Atlas still in production or still on the writing board?
It's not. I don't think it's anywhere in here. I know that there's a lot of stuff in that's just sitting on.
Because that was related to WandaVision with Agent Wu, I believe, because he was actually the one who set up and made that team, and it was in an article I read back when WandaVision was in fruition. So I'm wondering if Agent of Atlas is a secret project that's still attached to all this.
Well, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that's still sitting on planning boards at this point. So, but okay, let's, like I said, we need to get through these quick because we got more to talk about before we round out. But no, you're fine. I'm glad that you're back. So yeah, Ironheart, Secret Invasion, I Am Groot, What If Season 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
That's gonna be a Lego special, probably like the way they did the Star Wars one.
A dumb animated thing.
Willow.
I would rather put my head up my own ass.
I have the original Willow and the 2 books that were written, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
Because poor Warwick Davis, they're using him to ruin his own history,
his own character.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And I want to get to this. Max, relax. Ryan, remind me to talk about the dislike button thing in a little bit. You know his name, Boba Fett.
Yeah, he's also being crossed over in Fortnite as well as of I think the 19th. He's also Dadbod's coming to the Fortnite. There's some kind of crossover coming as well.
Excellent. Tiana? No.
Who?
What
Tiana. They're bringing her in to try to help soften the blow of destroying Splash Mountain at the theme parks. Zootopia Plus, that's not going to work out well. Cars on the Road. So now we're going to destroy the Cars franchise.
Aren't they already on the road? That's the whole pretense of Cars. They're racing. They're already on the road.
Disenchanted, which is basically the return
All of Disney Plus.
Well, to be fair, with sorry.
So they're bringing back Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah,
return for. So what's really funny about this is that in the title they're saying they're going to destroy it.
And to be fair, with Cars on the Road, I think it's Disney's attempt of basically destroying any and everything related to John Lasseter, because that was Lasseter's pet project right there.
Well, actually, Lasseter led Pixar for so many years and led the value. Yeah, so it's terribly, terribly frustrating. So
you know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing everything's a remake or a sequel to things that.
Yeah. Let's keep going. We have Cheaper by the Dozen remake, Hocus Pocus 2 remake, Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild remake. You got Big Hero 6 television remake, Spiderwick Chronicles, which might be interesting, Pinocchio, which Tom thinks might be good, and the Beatles Get Back, which is probably the only good thing that's actually coming out of there.
I am surprised with Big Hero 6 because one, they already had an animated version of it on Disney Plus, and I'm one of the few people. I love Big Hero 6, so I'm not interested in this.
Well, and with that being said, before you get going there, Fat Steven, we have to do this because Makini has to leave us real quick. So go ahead,
yes. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for being here. I'm so happy to be back on Sunday Culture Review, especially with all these great people, all these great panelists. Anyway, right after it is Makini Live. We have a special guest in the one and only birthday girl herself, Arwen Avalon. So come over and check us out, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So. Look forward to see you guys here. Thank you always. DJ Scandalous, Ryan, good to see you guys again. Hope to hang with y'all in the future. Love you, everyone. Bye.
Take care, Mackie.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you, brother. All right, let's get back to this. This was the thing all the ladies would be excited about. There he is, Chris Hemsworth.
Can I see the Rescue Rangers for a second, please? Can you go up just a little bit? Screw that. The animated series is all we need. No CG live action crap is needed. No, stop. Just stop.
I don't
stop.
I loved it when I was a kid. I loved it, and they're going to ruin that too.
Of course,
everyone loved Gidget.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a trans Chippendale.
Exactly.
Right. So half squirrel, half raccoon, half beaver. That's all we need right now.
Limitless with Chris Hemsworth is going to bring the ladies to the yard. Let's see. Will Smith is going to bring the cucks to the yard.
That's not hot.
Welcome to Earth, America the Beautiful. These are all the things that are going to be on the.
That title is based on a failed movie.
Wait. Welcome to Earth is his line from Independence Day. What is this crap? Why are they even using? They're using that from. That was Fox, right? Independence Day.
Yeah.
He's exploring Earth. So.
Yeah.
Oh, he's exploring.
And Sneakerella. That's right.
Listen, if you're gonna do Black Cinderella, I may as well go all out. So there you go.
We already had that with Brandy, though, right? So
that is racist.
Yeah, the Proud
Louder
family.
And Prouder. Well, come on, you're just ripping off Louder with Crowder. What the hell?
No, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I see nothing here to get excited about.
Sorry about that, Ryan. I didn't mean to overtalk you.
No, that's all right. Like the Proud Family, that's like an existing series, I think, on fucking Disney or something. They're just like doing another spinoff of a spinoff of.
I thought there was going to be a female Predator movie, or is that maybe by someone else?
Well, that's going to Hulu, I believe.
Oh, Hulu.
Yeah, I think that's exclusively to Hulu, if I remember correctly. But it doesn't matter. I've reached the I'm frustrated point in time when it comes to this stuff, because none of this stuff it has any interest to me, when at least 2 or 3 of them I could have had some interest in them. So,
Well, everybody do what they want, but I'm not giving these people money anymore. None of them.
A lot of people aren't.
We're in a sad point now where Pornhub has better scripts than Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just watch Lethal Lightning's channel a couple of times with their special guests. They have better story.
Well, yeah. Kinsey.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah. And nobody can replace RDJ's Iron Man. Look, the chat's on fire. You're 1,000% right.
As always.
Yeah.
See, if they wanted to do that, why didn't they just do take the child actress who played the daughter and have her the Ironheart and just be a legacy series of trying to live up to her father for all the stories she's heard about him? Why didn't they just do that road?
Because they Riri Williams is a failure in the comics, but she's introduced and promoted because it's a black female character. And so that's what they want, that they want to take these characters that have failed over the past 6 or 7 years, whether it's Lady Thor, whether it's Riri Williams, whether it's America Chavez, whether it's Miss Marvel, like all these characters that have failed, they're now using them in live action because they want to push diversity.
So they want to put, but they're actually pushing diversity. They're trying to push failure because it seems like they're just taking failed properties and failing them more, and that's all under the guise of diversity. So you're pretty much just saying, you're a failure in real life, you're a failure in the comics, now you're a failure in our films. That I'm not trying to sound like a dick with that, but that's what I'm beginning to feel about this whole delivery system.
Well, I have the EU, I have the old movies, everything I can find on DVD. I have. I don't need these people anymore. A lot more. I need these people a heck of a lot less than they need me.
Yeah, and that's the problem that I think they're going to run into. And to that end, let's move on to the stock price, because this is something that I know Ryan's going to want to speak about. And it fell off, right? From the very moment that they started to talk about their quarterly numbers. And remember, right before they do the earnings call, they release those numbers to shareholders. So you get a chance to digest them before the call. And, this is where it finished out on Friday, or close out on November 12th. It was down $2.48, 1.53%. Overall, it was down 10% plus. I think Ryan wants to show you the actual fall off. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, this is really the better indications. This is 5 days. This is on Wednesday, November 10th. Let's see, at 4 p.m. And then as soon as we opened, it was already down over 10 points overnight because people found out about these numbers. Like we talked about, the fact that subscriptions installed, the fact that there's so little growth at all for Disney Plus. So it was already not looking good. This was over the rest of the day, bounced back a little bit, but in what should have been the rebound, Disney Plus announcement day, it continues to start falling again. So none of this stuff that they talked about had any motion at all positive. It was all only negative from what we heard on Disney Plus Day. That's not what Disney was hoping for. That's the opposite of what they were hoping for. I imagine Disney Plus Day was strategically positioned right here to be able to combat any of the bad press.
It almost seems like they're doing this stuff on purpose because those people are not stupid. They can see what's happening. They should have seen that and then go, okay, we need to rethink everything when they saw that drop. And that it didn't come back after the announcement. They should have said, okay, we got to redo everything. And Chapek is a coward for not.
Yeah. And it's continuing to fall off. And you know what? Ryan brings up a good point. I mean, they're down, they're down over 10% right now. And I guarantee you that, going into trading tomorrow, I don't see an epic level bounce up. It might happen. I mean, it's going to go back up eventually. But if you look at the right now, the trends and the projections and everything, they're trending bearish.
Well, what's going to happen over the next year when every other studio makes money but them?
Oh, easy. They're going to hire the TVA to go back in time and fix all the problems that caused them to lose 10%, because then Owen Wilson will be their savior.
Yeah. And again, none of us are financial advisors. We don't work in the finance industry, to my knowledge, and we're not giving you financial advice. And neither is Terry Rose, who says don't buy this dip. So
well, and we're just relating the numbers and our opinions. So
Morb says hail to Ryan. I agree. Hail to Ryan.
Right. And if it wasn't for Ryan and Jeremy, I wouldn't be writing stories.
Yeah, that's weird. Think about how many people became inspired in the last few years, right? And we've all found each other, man. We found DJ Skandalous. We found, and so now every once in a while I can like put that on in the background while I'm editing a video. I found Storyman Jack, who will, I take him along in the car to listen to stories. I get a chance to, follow all the favorite things I have: gaming, sports, all that stuff that I love is covered by, Geeks and Gamers with, what Jeremy and of course Ryan pretty much runs everything. Just, Jeremy's the front man. I figured this out. Jeremy's the front man, and he brought Ryan in to do everything else.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I've had so much success since he met me. So
that's why I had to leave the Navy. He ran out of time for the Navy.
That's right. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't defend the nation. I have to defend G&G.
I'm on the front lines defending it from YouTube and SJW.
There's less diversity training at Geeks and Gamers as well, which is nice.
There's less time for that. That's true. You guys that's because you already have a diverse team. I've met the team. I know some of these people. You can't ask for more diversity.
And you can't ask for better people either.
No, there's no doubt. But let's do this, because this is how we're going to round out, because this is the stock conversation. We've gotten it around to the value problem, and here it is. On Disney Plus Day, Netflix becomes more valuable than Disney. I bet you didn't see this coming.
Isn't that amazing?
That is shocking to me.
Especially since a little movie about girls.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Well, that is stunning to me, and it kind of tells you why so many people are chasing streaming right now.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't think it made sense, for Warner Brothers to fucking split their stuff up between HBO Max and theaters, even if they were going to take a hit initially, this is why they're doing it, because they see what Netflix has done and they're trying to chase after that. And they know that there's not enough room for 7, 8, 9, 10 big streaming platforms. There's only probably room for 3 or 4 in the future, big ones. So they're all trying to get to that. And the fact that Netflix is more valuable than Disney, with everything that Disney owns, ESPN, all the theme parks, all this stuff, all this merchandise, that is absolutely insane to me.
But it does. But here's part of it, and I'm gonna let me introduce this concept. Netflix took 12 years to get their shit in gear. Right, It didn't happen overnight, and that's the thing. This is how I see it. And maybe it's wrong. Maybe my opinion is wrong, but there is the Disney doesn't have 12 years to get their shit in gear. Warner doesn't have 12 years to get their shit in gear. They're already knee deep in competition. But in my opinion, and you know what, I want to know everybody else's opinion about this. The streaming services have already matured. We're in maturity. We're no longer in the explosive growth stage. We are now managing what's available. The number of customers that are subscribed to the maximum number of services that they're willing to tolerate, we've reached the top end, right? So now we're in competitive battles, right? Which is kind of appropriate for the boxing picture here. Does anybody think I'm wrong? Do you think there's room for growth of these platforms beyond that?
No, it's pretty much that if you look at the streaming services the same way you look at the console wars, you pretty much are going to have your stationary fans of what they like and what they don't like. Some people are going to be PlayStation, some people are going to be Switch, sometimes people are going to be Xbox, some people are going to be PC. They've just caught up to that same type of maturity. No matter what happens, you're always going to have your loyal fan base. Sure, someone will subscribe for a month to watch a show, then they're going to cancel again. There's no more growth. The only thing is catching the eye for the moment, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it that way. I mean, you like if in a perfect world, I'd be able to play Mario Kart on my PC, you know. Well, but the thing is that Netflix evolved into what it is, right? It was just a distribution center based off a online model of Blockbuster, and it evolved into a streaming service. Hulu actually started as a streaming service, and those were the first 2, I believe.
Yeah, and Hulu stagnated, in my opinion.
Yeah, they did.
Even though it was owned by the other media entities, right? Because remember, it was started by all of them jointly.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, it's a hot
mess. Disney would be better off to either get rid of Hulu completely or get rid of Disney Plus and put everything on Hulu.
Or let Hulu be accessible to other countries outside the U.S. because they're killing their market at the same time. Hulu's not available in other countries; it's only in the U.S.
because
of the properties and the
the properties that they own. Exactly, and that holds them back. But you know what, Sanders right here, it does have region-based content. Disney does as well. If you go like to the India version or whatever, because you're going to get the Hotstar products with the Bollywood type of stuff and all that. But here's the thing: Biggles Metz sent a private member chat in that I can't bring up, but also have to read it. It says he's been a member for 6 months, by the way. Thanks, Biggles. Love you, brother. He says Ryan is the talent.
Oh, for Gene. Oh, thanks, Biggles. Appreciate it. I think that I do think we've obviously reached a somewhat saturation point as far as new people coming in, depending on what countries you're launched in and things like that. I do think there's something to be said. Kind of going off what Fat Steven said, when you're looking at comparing to video games. Yeah, we've kind of reached saturation point there as well. But now what are people chasing? They're chasing IPs. Yeah. So you see Microsoft buying up Bethesda, right, for all of their IPs and things like that. You see people making moves. PlayStation has been all about the IP game for quite some time. So that's what you're going to have these companies doing. They're going to try to buy up IPs to use people's nostalgia to get them there. And when you look at Disney, like they've got some ones that could be big, but with Marvel, obviously, the MCU is like the biggest IP going for years. And obviously you have Star Wars, which should be the biggest IP around if they can ever, fix that. That's a completely different story. That's what they're going to be trying to do now. They're going to be trying to siphon it away from each other.
Yeah. I really want to start a nonprofit so that we could purchase these IPs to protect them.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be in that position, but that's not a bad plan. The Atlantean for $2 is Hail, CCRKFS, and the other greats. Absolutely, thank you for that, Atlantean. Let's do this. Let's do a little into this article because we need to understand the context of this more valuable idea. Disney and Netflix are very different companies, no kidding, with different investor bases. That's not true, but they are head-to-head competitors in the streaming wars. That's true. Netflix valuations climbed above Disney's for the first time in about a year. And again, these companies flip-flop before, but this on Disney Plus Day, they lost ground. So Netflix shares closed up 3.5% on Friday, giving it a market capitalization of $302.4 billion. Year to date, the streamer's stock price is up over 29%. Disney shares fell 1.5%, yielding a market cap of $290 billion. So they made up a ton of ground. The drop in the share price was on top of the 7% slide on Thursday. So everybody's recognizing what's happening and why things are up. The Morgan Stanley is continuing to say the same thing I have, which is Disney's stock is overweight. It has been for a while. And we should have been not paying so close attention. So with those thoughts in mind, anybody have any further to add to this weird situation we're in, where a streaming company has now surpassed the valuation of the most diversified media company in the world?
No, not really. It's insane. You said it took Netflix 12 years to grow this. Disney's been around for fucking decades, right? Mm-hmm. And the fact that it only took Netflix 12 years between sending out envelopes with DVDs in them in hopes that people would actually send them back, and now a streaming service, and that's it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bananas. And like I said, I mean, when Netflix started out, it wasn't what it was now. And once they went full tilt into streaming, they essentially forged the whole streaming pathway, and Disney was in catch-up mode so much so. Consider this: Bob Iger was developing two streaming platforms simultaneously. Most people don't realize this. He was working on the board of directors at Apple, and he was working at Disney, trying to develop jointly Apple Plus and Disney Plus. Weird, right? How did they both end up with Plus at the end? Anyway, beyond all of that, I just find it interesting. Guys, any thoughts on the streaming wars, thoughts on Disney, anything at all that we've talked about? Because we're getting ready to call it.
I got one sentence for Disney. Get help. Get lots of help. Kidding. Get help. Therapy. Get help. Get help.
Sell everything.
Here's
Sell
the
Star
other thing.
Wars,
Here's
please.
the other thing. Consider this. YouTube's more successful at streaming than Disney, right?
YouTube is a channel within itself. You can always find something without having to worry about it.
Yeah. So they're ultimately the replacement, or the competitor for Netflix, in my opinion. But then you have great streaming services that do music, like Spotify and other places like that are starting to lead the way forward. Spotify starts to get its video platform crap together, there'll be another entry into a different form of streaming. I mean, again, YouTube is always set up as a place for it was always set up as a place for us to broadcast ourselves, for people to create their own forms of entertainment. The fact that it's tilting more towards the mainstream, it should indicate to us that maybe we have to look for other opportunities. And I know that's what Ryan's been doing. Ryan's over there. He's on Locals. I think you made the move to Rumble too, right? Because Locals and Rumble are now the same thing.
Yeah, I've been uploading, even before that announcement, I'd been uploading to Rumble just because it's there.
Right.
Just for another place to put stuff up, because not everybody wants to watch on YouTube. Not everybody wants to watch on Odyssey. So, but yeah, I think we got to be in as many places as we can.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's just starting to discover that regionally you can get different stuff in different countries with your VPN.
Yeah.
That's a no BS thing. But see, it's a good thing. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of room on YouTube. You have incredible creators like DJ Skandalous, who gives you amazing remixes. You guys should be listening to. You have Ryan and all the 350 G&G channels that he basically does all by himself. For Jeremy. And whatever, sports and, I don't know what you guys, when's the outdoor channel coming?
That's going to be a while. We've got some people that are working on it, but it's all about getting a lot of good content to start with, because that stuff's not, I can't just go out to the woods and pull up OBS and bitch about SJWs for 8 minutes. Like, that takes a lot more effort and time and patience.
I tell you what, when I get back in the ocean again, I'll just start shooting video all over again. You guys can do some scuba diving video.
What he needs to do is get on the set of Wizard of Oz and just have those angry trees just do all the SJW bitching for him.
There you go.
Perfect.
I'm taking the kids hunting for the first time this year, so I can.
Take some video, man. Yeah. Philip A. Demick for $5 says the only TV show I watch is Oakland. Oh yeah, Oak Island. Excuse me, Oak Island. Yeah, that's the one where there's digging for treasure, right?
I think
They're
so.
trying to find that treasure. Yeah, from their website with ads. Most of the time is watching YouTube, some Twitch and anime. No Western interest. I understand that. I mean, isn't that kind of how most of us are now headed? I mean, I don't know. I watch YouTube. I listen to YouTube. I don't think you guys understand. I mean, my source of entertainment's my friends and music. I listen to. Like I said, if I'm editing a video, I'm usually listening to music or listening to a stream or whatever. I don't think people realize just how many people pay attention to what they're doing.
And you never know who's watching.
Yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm. And you get unsubscribed from your friends all the time, by the way, which pisses me off. Yep. The G&G fishing channel. I almost said that badly.
G&G fisting channel?
It's almost terrible.
Almost.
Flip that.
Commander Ed Straker of Shadow for $2 says Krista and Ryan run G&G. Jeremy is a muppet. No, please give Jeremy credit. He's an incredible businessman, a wonderfully thoughtful individual, and someone who I greatly admire. So
just a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a good dude,
and he's a good friend. I can't wait to hang out with him again. I don't have to do that. I could not have a channel tomorrow, and I would still support everybody. You guys got to chill with that. They purge a lot of YouTube, but never corporate channels. Yeah, corporate channels can have bad takes, provide misinformation, the whole nine, and they still keep them around.
Yeah, and now you can't even show people that it's a bad video.
That's true. Speaking of which, 16-bit mascot brings up a good idea. G&G Outdoor Mario Kart Tournaments channel. You know what? I thought that would be a great idea. I thought to actually get you guys all together in go-karts.
Yeah, dress up like Mario colors.
Yeah, and then think about what somebody like Perry Chan or Scimitar or somebody could do with something like that. That'd be amazing.
There's a great place in San Antonio. There's a great place in San Antonio.
Yeah. I would like to see G&G paintball sessions where they get all the rage out.
That would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Purple Valkyrie's got Nerdrotic on right now. That's fantastic. Plus, you also have Machiny to go to next. Final words, everybody, as we wrap up, because I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to promote themselves. Let's start with the man that you should all know already, the man with the mouth.
The man with the mouth. I guess that's me. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Sunday is usually pretty busy for me because I do the Sports War stream in the morning. Then I take care of some stuff. Then I have my stream in a couple hours here. But I wanted to make some time and come hang out with you guys, and I'm glad I did. And it gave me some good ideas and stuff to talk about for my stream later as well. But yeah, you can find me RK Outpost, my new channel Patriot Outpost, where I talk about more political shit. More political things. But yeah, man.
I don't
Thanks
care,
for having me.
Ryan.
You're not Ryan if you're not saying it. Like
That's
that,
right.
man.
And I don't mind at all. And then from the musically gifted one, DJ Skandalous. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Promote your stuff, my friend.
So what I do is I do like 90s hip hop. I like Tupac. I like Biggie. I like all those old school songs that have a great story. Unlike a lot of music today that's just hot garbage, repeat the same thing, and have a bunch of face tattoos and stuff. You know, I like music that inspires you, and then that's why I always made old school remixes. And it just so happened that it blew up 10 years ago. So, and other than that, I have a podcast and I talk about like hip hop news and old school rappers and stuff like that. So I have DJ Skandalous and I have Skandalous Talk for stuff like that on YouTube.
All right. Thank you very much for being here, my friend. I can't believe how much support you give everybody. We appreciate you. We really do. Of course, we have our own very version of the story man who looks like he's distracted. He's talking to somebody. So instead, we'll roll over to Fat Steven Seagal. What's up,
God.
Fat?
Well, pretty much gaming, Babylon 5. We're trying to get Patricia Tallman back on. I'm in early access right now for Battlefield.
Cool.
I help out with Lunch Table with Lorena. Pop Culture Minefield on Fridays. It's been an interesting but successful year, and hail to the chat. Pretty much, chat makes what everything goes. So thank you.
Yeah. And this is a good point. Happy birthday, Brian. Ryan. Tomorrow. Man, my brain is not working right now. Look, there's our newsman. What's up, Drew?
Yeah, how's it going? Listen, I got a tiny YouTube channel. If you feel like checking it out, go for it. Tuesdays we do Rogue Resistance, Thursdays Pegasus Actual. So, feel free to stop on by.
All right. Thanks, Drew. And thanks for everything you're doing for Rogue Entertainment and all that you do everywhere else in the world. Finally, the story man himself.
I am working on a lot of stuff. I'm going to be doing a weekly stream, science fiction stream, fantasy stream. I'm going to be basically streaming the stories that I've already written, and in between telling you what I think. I'm also going to do just the tips are going to start back tomorrow, and that'll be every weekday at about 9 a.m. And there'll be just short videos on how I write and my process. Also, I love that DJ Skandalous is here because I listen to his channel while I'm writing, because music helps you express that emotion when you're writing.
Definitely.
So check me out. I'm at 402 subscribers. There's probably over 120 original fiction stories on my channel of every genre, from Christian stories to horror stories to fantasy stories and sci-fi stories. So anything you would like to listen to, please listen, and don't be afraid to tell me what you don't like. I can't get better unless I'm told.
There you go. And that's what we're going to have to do now, is bomb the comment sections in the future, because guess what? Dislikes are not going to be visible anymore, so you don't know what's garbage anymore, which is disappointing.
And now you'll just see a bunch of comments saying, use me as a dislike button.
That's true. That's true. Beyond that, I just want to say I had a great time today. I appreciate everybody who showed up. Ryan, I know you're a busy guy. I know it was a sacrifice for you to be here. I'm glad you were able to follow the football game. DJ Skandalous, appreciate you being here as well. I know you're busy. And to all my regular panelists, those that show up regularly, and to everybody in the chat, and especially the wrenches who were dropping links like just crazy. I appreciate you supporting everybody here. To that end, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
Remember, 20,000 subscribers, Culture will shave his head.